Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Racers Driving League for Season 17, round number 6 of the Championship. Welcome to the Miami Grand Prix here at the Miami International Autodrome. I'm your host, Zach Garcia, here to take you through another evening of fantastic league racing here on F1 24. I'm in for a fantastic evening indeed, as I say. Qualifying getting underway. This is just the 5th outing to the Miami International Autodrome in the league's history. Of course, last season's race here was an absolute doozy to the least, with Nicholas walking away with his last victory in the league. Only to lose it midweek after a penalty, meaning Grumio took the win. Grumio, who is back this week, to my mind. Yes, there he is. The reigning Drivers' Champion back out on the circuit once again for the first time in quite a few weeks. And he's got some work to do now, because he's got quite a mountain to climb in the race for the Drivers' World Championship. As it stands, Grumio now sits in 6th place in the standings. His only points coming from 5 rounds ago in the opening race of the season. The drivers in front of him being James in the lead, Landlord second on 9 points, JB still in third on 39, he's 48 back from the lead. It's all Landlord and James right now for the top spot. Flying Duck in 4th, and Curtis Shepherd rounds out your top 5 in the Alpine. So quali underway here, 19 car grid, which means that we will be losing the bottom 4 from this session. The top 15 will then go on to Q2, 5 more eliminated from there, and the top 10 will go through to Q3, the pole position shootout, to establish our top starters for the race. Let's have a look now at a lap of the circuit that encircles the Hard Rock Stadium rather, of the NFL team, the Miami Dolphins. Grumio over the line here, the reigning champion, off into turn number 1, defending winner of this race no less. Very tight apex there into the first corner, missed it a little bit, but gets a bit closer through turns 2 and a very sweeping turn 3. The long right hand and a good exit from Haas, charging down towards the next run of chicanes. Through 4 and 5, careful through the back end there. Charles Leclerc famously crashed here at turn 6 last year. Into 7, solid exit from the current champ. Telemetry in play there. There's the DRS zone coming into play now. Keeping it largely in hot lap mode DRS wise. Aston Martin down the left. Very tight corner leading into the stadium section. A lot more technical and not so much high speed compared to the rest of the circuit. Oh! And there he goes. And not the sort of space you want to be in, spinning in that position on the circuit. He has to give it a minute to himself back around. He's got a minute. Hopefully he shouldn't hold that Mercedes behind him too much. Flying Duck goes top of the timesheets then. 1 minute 27.3 the first lap. Landlord's on the way through. There he goes, 1:26.5. We'll get an idea as the lap starts, get churned in as to what to really expect in terms of lap times, in terms of the front runners. I know Grumio wants to have that lap back. Ethan's third. There goes Imrie fast, it's led by 2 tenths, 1 minute 26.375. Grumio into the pit lane now to repair his wing. Pope in the other Mercedes starting his first flying lap. Pope, one of the few individuals to be sporting a helmet that isn't one of the regular 3. Hoping with the podium pass release this week, there may potentially be some more in the store to look out for. Running aboard then with Pope, who of course nabbed a few points last time out in China, but really felt like he was on for the win last week. It's been 2 weeks now where he's felt like he's been in the hunt for a race win and hasn't been able to quite seal the deal, so it could be today, you never know. But to my mind, I don't believe Pope has competed in any of the first 4 RDL outings on this circuit. Strike that. No, I know he competed in season 14. As for the result, I'm not sure. Good speed though from the Subaru. Of course, he's got to try and match his teammate. Mercedes now up to 4th place in the Constructors' Championship. Only McLaren, Haas and RB have scored more points. Pope towards the line here. Can he match his teammate? He can. He exceeds his teammate by half a tenth there. Pope onto P1. 11 drivers now set lap times. PJ there in 4th place. Got spectacular efforts last week from the Williams driver. There's Badman, returning after quite a few weeks away. Red Bull sitting in 9th place in the standings right now with a lot of work to do. The formal combination of Badman and Krovi in the Red Bull. We have a reserve tonight in Daniel Aaron, who makes his return to the league. Running what I believe be a one-off reserve appearance. I'll have to wait and see as to whether that move becomes permanent. But it's the lowest time so far, 1 minute 31.002, so a bit of work to do there. There's red jam, the red track for Ferrari. Ferrari sitting bottom of the standings themselves. After a few promising runs to kick the season off, things sort of hit a wall in Japan, and that's where they sort of run into problems so far this season. We'll have to see if they can pick it up tonight. Rajay and Cotney, that combination have been very on the nose in terms of qualifying this season, consistently in the fight to avoid being eliminated in Q1 of these first 5 races so far. Yellow behind Red Jazz, that's one of the Haas cars. That is Grimio going slowly. So I believe maybe charging the ERS back up against Go for another run. Perhaps not happy with his first go, but not a brilliant return for the champion so far. But I'm sure he'll pick it up later on. I'll have to wait and see. Right now though, it's all Mercedes at the front. 1-2 for Pope and Imrie. Landlord in 3rd, PJ 4th, Badman up to 5th. Flying Duck 6th. We yet to see Gaming James completed lap time. We'll see what he got, what the championship leader has. Coming off of 3 wins on the spin in Australia, Japan, and then China. Very different circuit here in Miami. We'll see if he's got the chops to wrestle the car around this circuit too. DRS deployed from there. We'll see what sort of Sector 2 time he sets. Obviously further into that, the split. Keeping it nice and nailed to that inside wall there. Be careful with the flop on the exit, given the inclination of the chicane on exit. 1 minute 1.283, his second sector. I haven't seen a lot of second sectors so far in terms of time, so not quite sure what to expect. But we'll see what the completed time looks like when he comes to the line. But I imagine he should be going safely on his way through to Q2, given performance in recent weeks. Bit of a lock up there for the RB, that's quite unusual. Back on board as he charges towards the line, where Will James put himself. The championship leader sets a 1:26.318, which is by 7,000 seconds, the fastest time we've seen so far. This connection, that'd be Obsessed Gamer and the Aston Martin, who made his debut last week. And he's got a new teammate as well in Biker Crade 21, who's also competing in his first RDL race today. But in what I believe is a full-time seat. So of course, good luck to the debutant. His first time so far, 1 minute 29.026, which is solid. And there goes Courtney Goblin over the line, 1 minute 28.820. So right now the Ferraris aren't looking too bad for qualifying at the minute. Grimio into 5th place now, 1 minute 26.594, just less than a 10th off his teammate. Landlord, after having a few weeks of controlling the Haas team and leading that team to several podium finishes, he'll be hoping that he can notch his second win of the season. It's weird at this point to be in the season to be saying that we're 6 rounds in and only 2 of them have been won by that combination. But only got 3 race winners so far this season. James has got the other 3. So he leads the standings by 9 points. But Landau's consistency has kept him in it. And speaking of consistency, there is JB, 3rd in the championship still. But sliding the exit from McLaren. Of course, the McLaren which won in the Hungarian Grand Prix yesterday. Nabs the team's first 1-2 since 2021. We'll see what JB's got in the locker for this track. This track, not a favourite for a lot of drivers. Many people on the grid say that they don't like this one in terms of how it is to drive. And there's been also been murmurs of rain throughout the lobby tonight. So there could be trouble there. Imrie, Pope and Landau have all retired from the session, assuming that they're good to make it into Q2, which they should be. Badman calling it quits as well. Only 3 cars yet to set to lap times. Websy on his out lap, Alvar on the timed run coming over the line, enough for P12, and JB is going into the stadium section now. 29.8 was his first sector. Yellow flag for his teammate Lucky Lambert and the other McLaren. It's been solid qualifying runs for JB so far in the season. We'll see if he's got anything to keep up here. James retires. That top 7, I'd say, are more or less all good into Q2. Just 4 drivers will get knocked out. In terms of drivers who have set lap times, so far that'll be Courtney Goblin, Biker Craig, Obsessed Gamer, and Daniel Aaron. But I imagine that we'll see Daniel Aaron back out onto the racetrack. Towards the line, what can JB do? 13th place, so perhaps a little bit of risk. We're looking to see where Websy can stack himself. Bit of a handling change for tonight's race. The game was updated earlier today. Oh, slide there from the Sauber. I'll try and avoid that. Websy the lone Sauber in the race. The only driver we're missing tonight is Cott. On board now the Sauber towards the last corner of the circuit. Into that very tight left-hander. Good exit, no trouble there. We'll see where Websy can put himself. He charges towards the line. Look at 26 here. Websy into P6, 26.7. Not a bad time at all. And in terms of the bottom 4, that'll bring us to Red J, Biker Craig, Obsessed Gamer, and Daniel Aaron, who, well, Biker Craig out. He's retired the car on track by the looks of it. Lucky Lambert retiring the session as well. So Biker Craig then out in Q1. We'll see if his teammate Obsessed Gamer can do anything to avoid joining him there in the bottom 4. Got Goblin, the last car in right now. Red J is in the pit lane, so he's got a bit of time. He's got just under 4 minutes to go then set another lap. And here he comes, looking to try and get himself out of the drop zone and push his teammate in. Of course, last week it came down to these two as the last spotters who get knocked out in qualifying, and Red J was the one who came off worse. So Red J will be out for revenge this time round, I'd think. So those bottom 3 cars fighting to get out Q1, now all on the racetrack. 3 minutes to run. Grimio out on track here, looking to run another lap. Keep an eye on the champion here. Any improvement would be a positive in this case to get himself out of the order. Mate. Half a second down this previous effort. So not fantastic, but of course he is safe in the next session, so really not much to be too cross with. But I imagine knowing Grimmy, he wants to be on top form going into Q2 as PJ Khaled retires from the session as well. Clouds starting to form over the circuit. They've come along very quickly indeed. Grumio over the line there. Still P5 a second down. I imagine he'll probably retire from the session. Haven't been all done. Websy retiring. So only Grumio in the top 9 yet to retire. JB calling it as well. He could be at risk here. Red J starting what could be his final lap. Slowing down. That could be a concern. He's got all his battery, so there's nothing stopping him from going for a full charge, but stuttered a little bit as to what to do that time around. That was quite confusing. And now he's got to hope he'll make back around to the line in time. JB's car has stopped. Daniel Aaron into the last corner, 1.5 seconds down. He needs a bit more than that. A minute to go. Dannon's P18 now. That could see him out of qualifying. That could mean, again, JB can scrape through. He scraped through into Q3 last week, only just. If my memory serves me correctly. If Red J can improve his time by about 7/10, then that will get him into the next session. Daniel Aaron retiring here. So he's calling it there. Obsessed Game is a 10th down this previous effort. So Red J, with this next lap, could try and knock out his teammate. Cottley Goblin in the pit lane, he's done his lap, choosing to stay in the pit lane to the end of the session. Not 25 seconds to go. Only 7 drivers haven't retired yet. Ethan going on to his last lap. Curtis, Flying Duck and Cottley all in the pits. The remaining 4 all on laps. Grimmer still half a second down. And we wonder if that threat of rain may come during qualifying perhaps. Checker flag has now fallen then. Red J's 2 tenths up. He only needs 7 thousandths. Obsessed Game is into the pit. He's out qualifying. Will start last for the race. So again, it's the second week in a row. It's all down to Red J as to whether or not he can make it into Q2 at the expense of his teammate. He couldn't do it last time. Will he do it this time? 6 tenths up. It's looking likely. This could put him above JB too if he can finish his lap strong. But JB safe in Q2 now, as only Red J can still set a time, and everyone below him has not. Or rather cannot, sorry. Here comes Red J towards the line now. Motor Truth, can he knock out his teammate? Advance into Q2, he can! Just about. Red J in by 4 tenths. Cottley Goblin, Biker Craig, Daniel Aaron and Obsessed Gamer all knocked out in qualifying 1. So there is your results in Q1. Gaming James tops the times. Pope second by 3 thousandths of a second. Imri in 3rd, Landlord 4th and Grimio 5th. Lucky Lambert 6th, Webby 7th, PJ Khaled 8th, Badman 9th and Curtis rounds at your top 10. Conley Goblin, Biker Craig, Daniel Aaron and Obsessed Gamer 33 all got out of qualifying. They will not advance to the second round. And here we go, things get spiced up just a little bit more as the rain starts to hit the circuit. Q2 set to get very, very, very different to what Q1 was. So we all know from here how this one works. The top 10 drivers will go through the pole position shootout, that is Q3. The bottom 5 will all find themselves knocked down, have their starting places locked for the Grand Prix itself, and all of a sudden, as I say, the weather has turned very quickly. And I think just on Saturday, when the threat of rain in Hungary near the end of Q3 was nigh and didn't quite arrive in the end. At least not soon enough to have an impact much on qualifying. So we're seeing the intermediate tyres come up, but a few guys opting for the soft here, trying to go for a dry tyre first run, see if they can gain any speed on those. So we've got a few drivers taking the risk. Of course, you've got to be careful. If you crash, then that'll be qualifying over for you, especially on this first run when you've got nothing in the bank to actually fall back on. Run ball with Lucky Lambert here. He's one of the few drivers. One of the majority drivers gone soft tyres. The ones in the minority, the ones going onto the inters. Imrie and Grumio opting for the green wall tyres. Both McLarens into Q2. And DRS disabled. And that might be the telltale sign that perhaps those dry tyres may not be the ones. And if they are the ones, you won't get the same amount of speed out of them. Down to obviously the conditions, the water on track, and the now lack of DRS they'll have down the 3 zones in particular that are available to the drivers. Lucky over the line. We'll see a sort of comparison here. Imrie is on an out lap on the inters. We'll see what he's got in his locker. Grumio starts his lap just behind Lucky Lambert. This team going a bit slower than comparison. Grumio seems right towards the start. I think those intermediate tyres may have been the right call. Lucky Lambert's first sector, 36.5. Grumio's first sector, 33.4. And that tells you all you need to know. And that is that Grumio's intermediates, Imrie's intermediates, Redjay's intermediates will be the ones for this first part of the session. And if I were one of the drivers, I'd get on those quickly before it gets any harder. 33.4 for Imrie in the first sector. See Curtis and Lucky contending. Sorry, Curtis and JB contending for the same bit of racetrack there. JB up in front of the Alpine. Both of them sliding around all over the shop right now. Imrie, so 33.4 in the first sector. His second sector splits and coming. Pope goes fastest, 1 minute 38.6. But I imagine that will be shattered in a moment by Grumio. Duck goes 39.9. PJ goes 39.7. Grumio goes 35.0. Oh, but a bit of contact there. On the main straight, I believe. He may have hit the wall. I'm not sure what he hit, but Grumio now has wing damage for the second time in two qualifying rounds. Imrie towards the line. 1 minute 8.11 was his second sector. Flag is there. He goes fastest by 0.3. Imrie 34.7. Bad man landed with that on the circuit. Those drivers who made the choice to wait for a minute now it paid off because they haven't got a wasted set of soft tyres in the bank. Webster coming in, one of the ones who experimented with this tactic but didn't quite pay off for them. Redjay 34.7 on the intermediates. You can see the water starting to hit the track now. No spray just yet, or no real spray. You can see it hitting the circuit, and that's more of a concern, especially those on those soft tyres. So you can see the majority of cars making changes now, and the ones who haven't made the change not back in the pitch yet. It's Flying Duck P6 right now. While on the exit, that will allow Landlord in past. Excuse me, sorry, that is Grimio again. Grimio into pit lane. Red James a third. 1:37.9 from the Ferrari. Curtis is coming in, JB is coming in. So those two ending their first runs. Perhaps runs to get, and not exactly runs to fall back on. So Imri on top then for the minute. Grimio in second and Red J in third. The rain has definitely thrown a wrench in the plans for the majority of drivers. We'll see what they've got in order to try and turn things around. Those drivers who didn't set a lap first time around are already back on the inters. The majority of them are on out laps. There we go. Landlord towards the line here. It's the 1:35.8, which is enough for P3, but still 8/10 off his teammate. So this time it's Grimio with the advantage. See if he may got anything in his locker to improve his time. Everyone now on the intermediate tyre. 4 drivers yet to set lap times. 2 of them are on a time lap right now. 2 of them are coming round to start their laps. Here's Websy and Sauer. Oh, a slide there from the Sauber, keeping under control just. 34.6 in his first sector. Behind him, it is JB on an outlap. Ethan on a time run here, 34.8 his first sector. His second sector comes to a 10.8. As of right now, he's one of the cars out. Imri retiring with 6.5 minutes still to go. Comes Ethan towards the line here. We'll see what sort of time he sets. Perhaps looking at a 38 here. 38.4. It's off P6 in the order. So Flying Duck, JB, Curtis, Websy and Alvar. The 5 cars going out of the stands. Grimir retiring as well, calling an end to his session. Curtis in the first sector there. Alvar invalidated his efforts, got to go again. And the rain is still going. The spray definitely a lot more obvious now. And they wonder, how long do we go for perhaps change to full wet tyres, perhaps for Q3? It'll be the first time in perhaps a long time that we'll have seen long time in a while that we'll have seen all 3 different tyres being used, dries, intermediates and wets, perhaps in one session, should the wet tyres get used over the course of 3 different rounds of qualifying. But we're just waiting on that last car to set a lap time, and that's the Alpine on your screen now. Alpine 14th and 15th right now. It's still Mercedes and Haas showing the way with the Saubers pulling off. There goes James over the line. The championship leader put himself into P3. His teammate Flying Duck on the bubble a little bit, has a bit more at risk. P9 right now. Improvements from the drivers below him could see him out of qualifying. 4 minutes to go. 1.3 down his previous effort. Up to P11 now. JB up into 6th place. Curtis into 10th. Flying Duck into 11th. There goes Alvar towards the line. We'll see what sort of lap he's got. You can hear the slide of the car as it comes to the last corner towards the line. P10. That'll knock Red J out for the minute. JB retiring from P6. Lucky looking to improve here, but how much can he improve given the conditions continuing to deteriorate? We're at 10, he's half a second up. That's enough right now. It'll be enough to, or rather, actually, I'll scrap that. It would not be enough. He'd need another few tenths more than this. This right now would be enough to put him into P14, maybe P13. Curtis in P12, 128, 138 dead. Now hold on, put 37.9. That's what's needed right now to get into Q3. Just looking like a 37, but can he do it? P13 for Lucky. 200ths of a second off of Curtis's time for P12, but short of a late moment of excellence from Lucky Lambert. It's looking like he'll be one of the 5 cars out. Just under 3 minutes now to come. There's Alvar there on the cusp in P10. Bad man on that lap, Websy on that lap. Those two looking potentially to push themselves out of jeopardy a little bit more. But here comes PJ towards the line. Won't improve. Stays in 8th place. There's a number of drivers down here who I can see improving just based off of pace in previous weeks. You never really know. Seems sliding the car there through turn 7. Well, turn 6, sorry, then turn 7. Landau retiring. He's the 4th of the 15 to call it quits in this session. Pope start there. 1 minute 37.8 was that lap. So he stays P5, but looks to be into Q3 that run. I'm thinking that potentially this could be it for runs, and I'm thinking that the drivers may agree with me. From Moxie down in the chat there. So it's looking like these will be the cars that qualifying. Look how heavy the rain is now by comparison. Flying Duck going back out there. It'd be a lofty task for him to improve from here. Seconds to go. Flying Duck retiring from the session. He's called it quits. PJ also out as well. That leaves Ethan, Lucky, Red J and Alvar to fight for the spots into Q3. Red J's in the pits. Looks like he's out. Alvar has got a lap here to try and beat his time. He's got 6 seconds to cross the line. And there's the flag. Badman P10. If one car improves, that'll be him out. Lucky Lamb was the 10th up. He'd need about another 3 or 4 more tenths to break the top 10. And a 10th from here will get him into P11. He takes P11. We went at 37.7. He'll be out. Out of our 4 tenths up. That could be close to knocking Badman out. Even 6 tenths down, he looks to be out. Looks as though it'll come down to between Alvar and Badman in the late stages. Yellow flag for a spun Alpine. That is Curtis who's recovered himself. He'll perhaps give his teammate a tow. I would think that's a bad situation here. The Alpine team planned this well. It's just good coordination, that's what you can see. Into braking zone, Curtis lets Alvar go shooting. Sorry, that's Ethan go shooting through. No, I was right, it was Alvar. Towards the line, there's the only left in his locker to try and crack the top 10. He does! P7, Badman goes out. And Ethan looks to join him. Out in qualifying, Emery tops the top of the session. Very close on Q2, perhaps one of those containing as always. So Emery top of Q2. Bruno second and James in third this time. Landau fourth, Pope fifth, Websy sixth. Alvar up to seventh, Curtis eighth. Good run from the Alpines at the end to get himself up into Q3. PJ ninth and JB again finds himself the last car through to Q3. Badman, Lucky, Red J, Flying Duck and Ethan all eliminated. And the heavens open one last time here, and I think we'll be looking at wet tyres this time round. Here we go then, Q3, the pole position shootout. Both Mercedes cars find their way into the session. Only one RB, both Alpines, one Sauber, one McLaren, and one Williams, and both Alpines. Have I said both Alpines already? I might have done. Regardless, point is we'll be looking at, there it is, there is a mixed tyre that I imagine they should all change to wets. And so for the first time in quite a long time, we're seeing all 3 different tyre compounds in terms of dry, intermediate and wet being used in a sequence. And again, the Mercedes cars and James, the first ones to the racetrack. And so far the first ones to the timing sheets as well. Mercedes perhaps seeing this as their chance in terms of whether or not they will be contending for race wins. They've had their fair share of misfortune so far. They've made their fair share of mistakes, but perhaps we could be looking at Mercedes win today, or at the very least Mercedes pole. Probably the first car through to set a lap. So really, in terms of the wet qualifying, this could be anyone's game. I just have to see who is good in the wet. It's been a while since we've actually seen a wet qualifying. Into the braking zone here for Pope, looking to start that first lap. 10 minutes to nab pole. Websy out onto the racetrack now, or comes out towards the racetrack. Landlord is still in the pits. Pope starts his first lap. Can we end the first sector for Pope then? We'll see what he's got in line. 34.9. See the Samba moving out of the way. I'm in at 10.7, second sector. Still got a few drivers who are looking at it out intermediate to see if that'll be the tire to beat. 33.8 for Grimio in the first sector. Pope's second was a 110.7. We'll see what Grimio's is when he comes through. But for now, Pope's coming through the last corner to complete his first lap of Q3. 137.6 his effort. 1 minute 10.8 was Imri's second sector. We'll see what he's got in third. James goes fastest there, 1 minute 36.959. That's a good 6/10 improvement. JB goes P2 on the intermediate tyres, so separating the RB from the Mercedes cars. So that means it's been a good call from Grimio and Landlord to hit onto intermediate tyres. 136.0 from Grimio. And that is what we're used to from the champion. It might take a bit longer than usual to get to speed, but it looks like he's about to do it again. However, 7.5 minutes still to come. Plenty of time. There'll be time for a good go from everyone else. James P2 right now. Of course, James has been fantastic in qualifying in recent weeks and looks to be in for another strong performance now. JB in third, Pope fourth, Imri fifth, Curtis sixth, Peter seventh. Webster's coming towards 8th place, Landlord 9th, and Alvar rounds 8 or 10 as it stands. You can really see how much that rain shaking the order. Towards the line, a lot on the last two guys set lap time goes P5. Landlord still in that lap. Grimio into pit lane there. And look at his first run. Six minutes to go. Wedgie there, P6, one of the cars on wet tyres. It's an even split right now. 5 drivers on the inters and 5 on the wets. You can see a few of them taking the risk here thinking, can I get more time at the opposite tyre? Is it worth a go? We'll see what the Mercedes cars can do to try and challenge the Haas in the lead right now. So there's your order. Grimio leads them, followed by James, then JB, Pope and Alvar, your top 5. Websy, PJ, Imri, Curtis and Landlord, your top 10. Now goes fastest then, 1:35.8. So a bit more skill to match that. and perhaps need to be tyres for a few drivers. Four minutes to go. Into the same section he comes. And through chicane here, keeping it under control. Again, drivers don't need a reminder of the constant potential threat they're under if they get too much on top of what makes it wet corner like that, especially that corner. Very long back straight there, leading into the last second loss. Proper corner of the circuit, the last braking zone. Let's see what Imrie can do now. 3 minutes left in the run. It's all Haas right now at the top. Sliding the McLaren, the Mercedes on the edge. Very close. PJ back out on the racetrack. Best effort 1 minute at 38.016. Imrie's improved by a second and a half. He's going for pole. If he can try and make it. Into the stadium section. Has he got the chops to pull out a pole position lap? Right now it's all Haas after Imrie has been contending across the first two sessions, and now in this last one where it matters most, it's P9, but improvements are on the table. Almost 2 seconds up now. He needs a little bit more. Pope goes fastest there. Now he's got a lot more to match his teammate. 1 minute 35.1. And is that too late for Lando to respond? Grumman's on the racetrack. Where's Imrie? Imrie last quarter. Towards the line. Improves to P3. Only 0.02 of a second of Lando. Look how close that is. And that might be another frustrating end to qualifying for the Mercedes driver who looked on potentially for a pole position earlier on. And with 1 minute 20 to go, this looks like his teammate's day for now. But no one in the pit lane, everyone looking to go for one final run. Into the chicane. 3 seconds down is Pope. Looking like that last reset was his last one outright. James there in P5. Can he find a way further up the order in order to give himself in the best contention to defend his championship lead from Landlord? As it stands, he finds himself 1 point behind. It's now almost still running completely here. The track starting to dry. You can see a line starting to form a little bit, but not enough right now. But they really need to stop raining in certain areas of the circuit. So there's the checkered flag. Alvaro over the line in P7. Here is time for one more lap. We're team to P2 there. Fantastic lap from the Sauber. Behind him, it's Alvar who's invalidated. We go to Ethan behind him. So PJ rather. Can PJ stun us once again? Goes P6. The championship leader is 2 seconds up. This could be a good time here potentially. Is it good enough for a pole time? James towards the line. It is! By half a second over Pope. Pope is up by almost half a second himself. It's going to be a very close end to qualifying. And Imrie looking to try match from 2. Lando in 4th. Grumio 6th. Grumio across the split here. He's a second up. And we're good for 3rd place right now. James, right now on pole then, but can Pope challenge that? Pope can't challenge that. Misses out by a 10th. JB goes 5th. Here comes Landlord. Grumio goes fastest, 134.5. Unless Imrie's going to think in the tank here, that might just self-qualifying. Can he bag a pole in the late stages? He can't quite do it. P3 for Imrie in the end, and Grumio will take pole. Here, Miami. Look at the top 10 then, and Grumio on pole. James in 2nd, those two will lead towards turn 1. Imrie 3rd, Pope in 4th, Allman plays second row lockout. Landlord 5th, Websy 6th, Curtis 7th, JB 8th, PJ 9th, and Alvar rounds your top 10. So that's the top half of your start squad for the Miami Grand Prix. We'll be back in a few minutes. Here we go again in time for the race. The Miami Grand Prix set to get underway in just a moment's time here from the Miami Australium in Florida. The circuit, of course, encircling the Hard Rock Stadium of the National League team, the Miami Dolphins. There is the circuit just on your screen there. Graphic, as always, designed by our very own JB. Previous winner, Salve Grumio, starts on pole for today's race. 29 laps. And the rain has dried up. So we're just looking at overcast skies for the minute. And after the manic end to qualifying, we're looking at what could still be a very engaging affair, as it always has been on this circuit. Some 3 excellent races held here in this league in the past, and I'm perhaps looking forward to a 4th one today. In terms of the winner, it's anyone's race, if you ask me. The Drivers' Championship, of course, James still shows the way by 9 over Landlord after James wins 3 in a row from Australia up to China last week. Landlord hunting him 9 points back. Grumio, his only points so far being those 26 from Bahrain. He's got work to do today, but here's your starting lap for the race. So on the back row, on row 10 all by himself, is Obsessed Gamer, who made his debut last week in the Aston Martin, looking to push on with his ideal career. Daniel Arrow makes a last-minute cameo, starting in P18 on the outside of row 9, alongside him is Biker Craig, who makes his ideal debut today for Aston Martin. You'll see your starting tyres on the screen as well. Medium tyres, both Dan and Obsessed Gamer. Biker Craig is on the hards, as is Cutty Goblin and Ethan. They make up row 8 in the Williams and Ferrari cars, respectively. I'd show you Flying Duck and Red Jay, but they just crashed it. They just collide with each other there in the run towards the first few corners. So soft and mediums, those two. Lucky Lambert lines up in P12. On the hard tyre, looking for a longer first stint. See the sun start to come up a little bit here in Miami. In the Sunshine State, it's so often affectionately called. Badman returns this week, lines up P11 in the Red Bull on the medium tyres. Leave Red Bull in the race, and the only full-time one in the Grand Prix today. Alvar starts in the top 10. He starts on the medium tyre, the tyre of choice for the majority of cars up in the top half of the field. PJ lines up P9. Couldn't quite repeat the qualifying escapades of last week, so lines up P9 for this one. JB lines up P8. Perhaps the points gap he had in third place a bit more under threat, but the two drivers he's chasing, one of them is starting behind P14, the other one starts alongside. It's Curtis, P7 in the other Alpine. Wesley lines up P6, 10th in the standings here, looking to add some more points to his tally. Could potentially get himself as high as third if everyone in front of him doesn't score and he takes the win, you never know. Lionel lines up P5, chasing James by 9 in the standings. Pope and Imrie together on row 2. The two Mercedes cars still looking for kickstarts their season with a race win. Perhaps this could be the day for one of them, but different strategies in terms of tyres. Gaming James, winner of the last 3 races in your championship leader, lines up in P2. Oh, and around, nearly around goes Imrie. He got it in the wall, it saved it just about. That could have been a lot worse. And up front, it's Grumio, who has to navigate his way through the cars. He didn't quite make it round for the formation lap, and ended up with cold tyres and the starts. Keep an eye on those guys in the mid to back of the pack. But Grumio here won this race before, reigning champion, and now has a threat to his throne sitting right there to his right, just behind him on the run towards turn 1 as Biker Craig takes the last spot on the grid, and there you see as well, I'm not sure who that is, that's Courtney Goblin taking his spot on the grid too. So here we go, 5 red lights for round 6 of the championship here in Miami. Lights out, foot to the floor. We are underway as they charge towards the very short run towards turn 1. James to the inside there, into that first corner. Grumio locks up. Imrie trying on the outside. James into the lead. Grumio and Imrie both off circuit. Contact between Pope and Landlord. Landlord in second. Pope up to 4. Imrie down to 5th here. Not a fantastic start at all for the Mercedes 2, who lose places on the getaway. James away. Landlord second. Grumio down 2 places from the start. He's down to 3rd place. Websy not holding station. Curtis around him in P6. Websy 7th. JB 8th. Those two almost going side by side. Curtis making an early move here on Pope. Also, I can't go wide there. I did. That's PJ Callan in the back. Sidestepping the cars behind. The Red J on the soft tyres. The only car on the soft tyres. Kick this race off. Websy now fighting with Pope and Curtis. Those two going wheel to wheel. There goes Salvage to the outside of the racetrack, going towards the DRS zone, which will be the hard braking zone. There goes Landlord to the inside. The two championship rivals going wheel to wheel here. James locks up. Landlord allows him back on the circuit. They're side by side. The two protagonists in the title fight right now. Landlord up into the lead. James in second. Grumio third. Lock up for the RB again. Landlord, the Haas, looks to get away. He'll do just that. Very, very entertaining start here in Miami. Curtis up to P5 here. Solid gameplay from the Alpines. He starts to work on Imrie in the Mercedes. Websy P6, Pope P7. JB 8th. You see PJ and Alvar going head to head towards the very strong braking zone in the penultimate corner on the circuit. Those two side by side as they run towards the left-hander, sorry. Careful not to outbrake each other here. Careful to avoid contact. PJ on the inside gets through. Takes P9 over Alvar and runs to lap 2 already. Imrie looking at a move here. Oh, contact between Grumio and James there. James has braking a bit earlier than Grumio might have expected and running right behind the RB. Yellow flag for the back. Looks like they've been contacting in turn 1. Car of the circuit. Not quite sure who that was. Everyone away nice and clean. Obsessed Gamer and Daniel Aaron a bit away a bit. Biker Craig and Courtney Goblin 2 seconds back from the lead pack. Ethan at the back of that train. Flying Duck now up into P12. His teammate James racing the lead. DRS is now in play for the first time in this race. James not close enough. There goes Imrie around the outside though. Trying to make something happen. Bit of contact perhaps between the two there. It looked a bit close. Not sure they did actually touch, but Imrie away with P2 can start working on Landlord for the race lead. Careful on the throttle here through the exit chicane. The last place you want to spin out with a whole train waiting to greet you if you do. I'll tell you what, you don't want to face anyone face first through there. So it's the Landlord, then Imrie. Curtis still holding station in the top 5 right now, doing a brilliant job at the minute. Badman into P12, he just managed to make the pass on Lucky Lambert from position. Fastest lap being set by the two leaders. Imrie very close to Lando into turn 1. Not enough to go for a move. The show is any longer than maybe, but not this time round. Look at him practically shoving the Haas through the opening sector in the first of the few home races for Haas in the calendar. Imrie siding on the outside into the race lead for the first time today. James looking to hang on to the back of these two in third, Grumio in fourth, Curtis in fifth. The top five looking to pull away, but Websy's not letting them go just yet because he and Pope will want to join the party and keep an eye on JB too. Not too far back, but that top 8 perhaps trying to pull away a bit more. PJ Kelly almost at DRS ranges. James going for second off of Landlord. He'll take it. Will he try and go for the lead too? Around on the outside to the inside now of Imrie into the braking zone. Side by side, Mercedes versus RB. Mercedes has it for the minute. The two Haas cars now supporting players in the theatre as they charge through the stadium section once again. Imrie holding on to the lead, but can he hold it this time? James will have DRS for his advantage and the battery in play, I have no doubt too. There you see overtake mode being deployed on the exit. Medium in deploy for James now with overtake for Imrie, who again, as we know, is notorious for using his battery. There goes Lando trying to charge past both of them though. Down the inside, Lando gets a double play and takes away the lead from both cars here. And Imrie loses that double whammy for the Mercedes machine. He's down to P3 now. Lando onto lap 4 now leads the way. Imrie looking for an opportunity to try and get his way back past, but Grumio might not let him have a moment to breathe. A yellow flag on the back, and that is a car off. That is Obsessed Gamer in the Aston Martin at the very back of the field with wing damage there. He may have hit it up. He may have hit a wall there. Or perhaps collide with another machine, but regardless, he's still going. Continue on with that wing damage. You'd think he'd come into the pits, but not this time apparently. May give it a lap to see what the damage is like. Assess the situation, they come in that time. James and Lando pulling away now. Imrie falling off a little bit. Grumio circling like a hungry shark for the kill here as they charge through. DRS again back in play. The two leaders going past, might go wheel to wheel. There go the two podium runners, third and fourth, making a change. James looking at the inside. There goes Grumio at the inside. Both cars here locking up near contact. There is contact. Oh, there goes Grumio around. And the lockup has cost the reigning champion dearly here. The defending race winner as well. Now out of the points and down in P15 with a lot of work to do to get back up to the lead. I think the idea of perhaps taking both cars there for the top spot was just that little bit too enticing, and it didn't work out in the end. The lockup costing him. Imrie promoted them back into P3. Curtis promoted into 4th. Websy now 5th. Landlord now without his teammate backing him up. So 5 different constructors all in the top 5 right now. This is Formula E levels of team competitiveness so far in this Grand Prix. James closing in with the DRS, won't go for it though. Not enough momentum to go for a move into turn 1. But Imrie might see fit to make an opportunity of nothing. Sliding a bit on the curb, a bit too much there for the Mercedes driver. Good points for the Silver Arrows right now if they can keep this up. Pope, I'm sure, would love to find a way around both of Websy and Curtis and try and join this fight himself, but those two doing a remarkable job of keeping him at bay. That he just doesn't have the pace yet. Obsessed Gamer is now in pit lane then, so he's done his lap with the wing damage on the car, so we'll continue on at the back of the pack. I imagine we're about half a lap down overall at this stage. Hard tyres going on along with the wing change. There's James though going back to the inside looking for the lead. He'll take the lead back from Lando as they charge into the left hand once again. Lock up again from the RB. Lando comes fighting back at him. James has got damage here. He's lost an end plate. Not sure when he's lost that, but he seems to manage to just fun without it. These three nose to tail here. Imrie practically shoving Lando through the chicane. Look at them all going at it. Absolute carnage here on the Miami streets. It's all going to be one long train to nowhere here. The lap 5 Express charging through, and there goes one of the carriages looking to make a move, become the lead caboose in the pack. Caboose is the rear of the car, that doesn't make much sense for me, but regardless, there goes Imrie looking for a move as well, looking to avoid locking up. James locked up though. Curtis might try and see the opportunity, gets loose on the exit, will keep the pack behind him. Imrie now second, and Lando back in the lead again. Towards turn 1. Battery looking low for a number of cars here, or at least conserving them in terms of battery. The red lights are on. You see them flashing, but we get a good idea here at the bottom of your screen as to how the ERS is doing. Grumio gets to work, he's up to P12 already. I think if he was on anything other than hard tyres, he'd have been in trouble in terms of scuffing those white compound white compound tyres rather. I'm getting my words all muddled up. Flying Duck now inside the top 10 for the first time today, looking to make an assault on P8 from PJ Khaled. DRS deploys, getting a bit of a toe here, looking to the outside of the racetrack, going into the corner. Up front, Imrie and James go after for P2. Flying Duck taking P8 away. Good move there from the other RB, while his teammate goes running in third and still looking at Imrie for second, but Imrie is perhaps focusing a bit more on Landlord and trying to take that place back. So a very competitive start to this race. Grimio now in P11, but 2 seconds back from Alvar and P10. He's got some work to do in his train. He's got to put up the natural pace in order to try and keep himself in with the fight. Imrie down the inside, Landlord into the last corner. He'll take the place. Landlord slightly, but the exit there might be open to a move from James. We've got the DRS though, so he'll close back in on Imrie. As Curtis looking around too, trying to look if he can try and nab a podium today. That'd be fantastic points for him. Remember, he sits in P5 in the championship, and both JB and Flying Duck sit below him right now. JB be scoring 6 points at this rate, whereas you'd see Curtis scoring 12. And with a 5-point gap between that, put Curtis in third place by 1 point. Imrie in the lead though could play into that as well. So if he wins the race, he goes 2 triple standings. 23 points to his name already in the first 5 races. It's been all James so far this season. Pope and Websy going at it now. Pope up into P5. Can he clear Websy at the braking zone? He can't quite do it just yet. Websy still on his outside, giving him pressure. And that'll be the inside now for the right-hander. If Pope can keep himself alongside, he might still have a chance going into the chicane here. It's been very close between them. Pope backs out of it. Smart move from the former champion. It was a long time since then. 6 seasons and 2 games ago. Landlord, DRS now to his use and making the move on Imrie for the lead. No challenge there. Grimio now 1.6 back from Alvar, who's fallen off the end of the train a bit more himself. 1.5 seconds between the Alpine and the Williams and P9. That's PJ Khaled, who himself is about half a second off Flying Duck. Of course, Duck and JB, 3 points separate them in the championship right now. They're racing for third. The lap pace already this sport has been a manic Grand Prix at the very least. DRS gains begin again. 3 DRS zones all to come. Imrie closing now on Landlord, looking to make that first move, but Landlord defends the inside and moves back up to cover. Imrie won't go for that move. Wiser things, or less wise things could have been done in that case. JB holding off Flying Duck, who might try the outside and get enough to run. Can't quite do it, or maintain his position for now. PJ Khaled gets the front row seat for these two, looking to take an opportunity if he can, if it arises for him. So chances are, if the driver doesn't get the move done the last DRS zone, he'll probably get it done here. Imrie closing all the time now on Landlord. Of course, we saw the race last season being decided here at this very corner by Craig. It's the first time penalty of the night for multiple warnings. James locked up there. That was very close to perhaps hitting Landlord. We might come back at Imrie here. Flat 9. Landlord to the inside into turn 1 and takes the lead away back. Back from Imrie. Top 4 looks to try and pull away now. Top 3 rather. Curtis is dropping on that train a little bit, but Websy's further back than he is. Alvar into the pit lane. Hard tyres on the Alpine. That'll push Grimio back into points paying places now. And just outside the DRS range of PJ Khaled. He's past the detection points. He won't get it this time, but I imagine on the... Actually, no, scrap that, he will get it. And that'll make his job a lot easier. Imrie again taking the lead. Around the outside of Landlord, those two still side by side. It's Imrie who gets away. And James here, for the last few laps, has really been unable to get into this fight. Just looking for an opportunity that it hasn't arrived yet for him. Courtney Goblin and Barker Craig fighting further back. That's in the race for P14. So Barker Craig's got the edge on Courtney on this occasion. He runs P14 in his debut, which isn't too bad at all for a fresh starter in this league. James and Imrie are both about locking up. And Lylov on the inside, but they're still on the exit. Oh, Imrie! Very close. What a save there from Mercedes, but I think he could have done without that because here comes James to the outside of him now, down the main straight towards turn 1. The championship leaders looking for position number 2, and James won't get it. Imrie will maintain his spot. Curtis trying the inside now on James. Now in amongst the points paying pack. JB is next target, but JB and Duck have been good so far this race in terms of pace, and they're able to keep with each other. If Grumio can outdo them on hard tyres, that'd be great for him. Imrie again looks to come from a long way back, but James puts it in first. Contact there. James looking for that door that was constantly shutting all the time. Curtis on the outside, that'll be the inside now. And move the Alpine for the moment up into the podium places. Yes, there he goes. Good move there from Curtis to find a way past the stronghold of these first 3 cars and break into the podium hump for himself. Not pulling away here. He's got a gap about 8 tenths now. See the yellow fuel light on his car could be a concern for him. Grumio passing now both Duck and JB into P7. And now he's finally looked to have caught the mid pack, or the lead pack, rather, the front runners as you would. The race has gone by so fast here. We're almost looking at our first pit stops and what could be only pit stops in the Grand Prix. Landlord leading by 8 tenths. He's managed to establish a bit of an advantage now over the Mercedes in second place. Curtis with a half second back in third. James almost half himself back in fourth. Another to Webbsy. Pope a bit closer. And there's your champion, Grumio, emerging. 2.3 seconds to close. How quickly will he do it? And can he get up to the leaders before the first pit stop? Because that'll give him a better chance of really getting involved and trying to win this race. Webbsy continues to keep Pope at bay here in the race for P5. That's keeping Pope from really going for it up front. Oh! Okay, wait, almost looked like, I think it was a lag on my part. Imrie looked to hit the wall there. No damage on that Mercedes. He looks okay. He'll continue on. No harm done there. Can he close in on Landlord though? The gap is closing, but will it be enough to actually go for a pass? I wouldn't think so. Locking up a little bit. When do we see the first stoppers of the Grand Prix? The action having died down just a little bit here. Now it's just a chase. Imrie hunts Landlord. Closing in though, but again, just not close to into turn 1. PJ and JB there, start locking up a little bit. Those RBs having a tendency to lock up the car. Lock up the tyre rather. Everyone now having close up to Land a little bit more. The gap has completely been dissolved, and now Imrie will get another shot and try to take the lead away. To the inside of the race he goes. And there goes Curtis too. Yellow flag for the back, and that is Daniel Aron as Curtis looking at the inside for the race lead perhaps. Dan looks to have spun it here. It's all okay. He'll continue on. Oh, is there contact there? Unsure there's a touch between Curtis and James. Imrie with the lead now, trying to pull away. Can Landau close him back down again? And will Curtis close him down first? So down to late braking as to whether or not you actually close much time in a DRS train like this one. We're nearing the halfway point of the race. Imri's in control now. And Lando coming in. Lando and Pope with the first to fight the bullets. Flymark and PJ both in. Pope not going to change. Landlord there onto another set of medium tyres. And that is... Are we looking at a two-stop here? Perhaps are they banking on a late safety car? Regardless, let's see what... I mean, I imagine that they know something that we in the booth don't, but... Racing continues back up front. Imri's got a second on Curtis. He's under pressure now from James. He's going to pull to the inside. Won't go for it though. PJ Khaled, 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings. 3 drivers now have penalties. But Koga, 6 to his name. It's in 6 seconds. And now we've seen a few drivers enter the pits. Who'll be the next ones in from this lead pack? 10 cars have stopped, the other 9 stayed out at last lap. Imri coming in. Only one of those 3, only one of those 4 to actually make a stop. So Imri pits in the lead then. Grimio now into P4. But yeah, again, yet to make his first stop. Hard tyres going on now. Imri in position for the end of the race. So his tyre should have 16 laps left out. Imri and Pope close. Imri merges back in front. The 2 Mercedes cars. Pope now on a fresh set of mediums. Imri on a fresh set of hards to go to the end on. These 2 start full assault now on the race lead. Pope will have DRS and Imri this time round. Curtis passes Websy. Those 2 going side by side for P2. Curtis gets it. Back behind them though. Pope in front of Imri now. A lock up from the former champ. Allowing him to keep in the fight for the minute. So if these 2 can drag each other up to the cars in front, that'd be fantastic for them. Coming to the inside, there he goes. Locking up though, there goes the Haas. Curtis coming in. So now only 2 medium tyre runners, those runners being Landlord and Pope. Curtis making the chain for hards. Landlord sets the fastest lap there, so he obviously knows what he's doing with that strategy. Continue on here. James leads by 7/10 then. Grimio now up to second after fighting back from P15 in the order. Obviously the pit stops have worked in his favour. Looking for Lee off James if he can get it. Websy behind them looking for any sort of scrap he can pick up on. Top 3 now nose to tail. To the inside now, looking for the top spot back, and for the first time in about 10 laps or so, Grimio reclaims the lead of the race. Lock up from James. Oh, hitting the back of the house. Gets away okay, but James down to third. Websy can try and close in. Ethan's lucky Lambert for company there. DRS now in play for the McLaren as they charge towards turn 1. Won't go for it this time just yet. Pope now back behind Imrie. Those two getting to work still. But Landlord is about 4 seconds, or 3.4 in front of him there. Obsessed Gamer gets a penalty. DRS going to play for Pope. Around the outside of Imrie to take away P7. Lock up from Landlord as he fights Lucky Lambert. Ethan's position. DRS in play here. Can Lucky try and fight back off these two cars? Landlord to the inside. Can Lucky take advantage of that, perhaps? Let's wait for a better opportunity. James into pit lane here. We're looking at mediums to the flag now. I'll steal that team mergers. In pit of those extra laps, may emerge quite a way behind where he was. James Mergerton in P11. We saw him go charging through from a different strategy last week and trying to claim the win. Can he just try and do it again here? He's got a lot of work to do if he said that's his plan. 24.5 seconds off the lead. But crucially, a few of those guys yet to stop. Grimmy now as well, see breathing down his neck. Sab and Haas going at it. There goes the DRS. Yellow flag 62. And that's Lucky Lambert around. End play damage for the McLaren. And that's not the sight you want to see at all. As we said in qualifying earlier, you don't want to be spun facing the wrong way there. Recovered it down to P6 now. It might be P7 if Curtis can nab him. There goes the Alpine to the inside. That'll be like work for him there. Lock up from Curtis, but gets through regardless. And then net P4 at the minute. Lucky Lambert in then to change that wing. Memes going on. Yellow flag again, and that is one of the Aston Martins. About to be a contact between Red J and Barky Craig. Both of them look to be okay. They'll carry on. So Landlord's still in third then. The Mercedes car's not really closing him down at the minute. It's definitely not as close as it was in the first stint. We are past halfway mark for the race and we are nearing the last 10 laps before the flag. And I'm thinking we'll be looking at Grimmy and Webbsy on the same strategy here. When one pits still the other, we're looking at perhaps a set of soft tyres both of them. If they can last him, but these ones last long enough. Flat Luck into P7, he's managed to make the move from PJ Khaled. So he's now going to jump on his teammate, Gavin James. DRS deploy once again. Grimmio's in the pits. Webbsy will stay out. So Webbsy leads the Grand Prix for the first time this season. Pope now looking at third place in the running order. James the fastest up now. Getting to work and just caught this 3-car train. Well, no, now 3 cars, one of them being his teammate. And JB right behind him. To the outside there of PJ. There he goes. James goes through now into 8th place. As of right now, Landor would now the leader of the championship. Things stay how they are. An 18-point finish compared to what's currently James' 4-point finish would not be good enough for him to maintain the lead. Emery back into third place over Pope. Nearing the final 10 laps now this Grand Prix. If you're enjoying the race so far, make sure to get subscribed for more RDO races as the season goes on, because we'll be here for a full calendar distance in Season 17. And the title battle continuing to form in these first couple of rounds. Emery and Pope again at it. Two Mercedes going side by side. Pope trying to, with a narrow route run down the outside, but Emery gives him the space. Good teammate work between these two. These two are fantastic as collaboratives in that same machine. Websy's in. That'll give Lando the lead back. Daniel Aaron 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Bottom three all with penalties. PJ and Alvar both have one each. Websy onto medium tyres in. Where will he emerge? Grimio emerged in P4. 3 seconds back from the two Mercedes cars. But this is Lando's lead right now. This is his race to lose. At this point, I imagine a new safety car stopping now. Down the field, everyone all by himself for a minute. The closest battle was being between Pope and Emery in terms of closeness, but in terms of the cars involved, we're looking at this race for what looked to be a race for P6 previously, but James managed to get around all those cars, and now it sits in sixth. A second half back from Curtis in P5. Is on for a good point stage as it stands. Nine more laps to go in this thing. James making the pass on Websy. Oh! A slide there from the RB, and the Sauber gets back in front again. Grumio fastest lap. We're yet to really see Grumio and Lando take each other on the racetrack so far this season. There's mind for a race win. But that crucial situation we're faced with, Grumio can clear the Mercedes cars and catch his teammate. Craig 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings there. Not long to go now in this race at all. Alvar, third penalty to man of the night. No, second penalty rather. Pope still there behind him. Grumio now closing that gap very quickly indeed. And could be set to make life very, very difficult for those two silver arrows for the next few laps. Let's see if we can go for it again. Pope can take the pass on Emery, who'll let him go. No trouble there. Move back into line. These two nice and streamlined with their DRS. Clear communication going between those two, knowing exactly who's going to go where. Eight more laps to go in this thing. It's still Lando, 5.7 to the good. Over the two Mercedes cars, who continue to pick over second place. And Grumio catching them at a rate of not to, now within DRS range. There we go, now Emery looking again at Pope. Grumio now in complete range to try and go for a move if he can get close enough. DRS deployed on the Mercedes. Okay, so around the outside of his teammate. Grumio closing now too. Late on the brakes, trying to take Pope if he can, won't go for it. James now passing Curtis. Oh, contact! And Curtis, a bit of a shove there from James, falls down now into the 6th position. Websy pursues to give him P7. And Pope again going at it now. Grumio to the inside of Pope. Batman with a time penalty. Grumio gets through now for P3. Can Pope fight back? Landlord's lead is not going away. 5.8 seconds, about to become 6 seconds as the 3 cars around continue to fight over second. A lot of axles all down the field here. Got Carpeti against Alvaro into the pit lane here. Soft tyres on that car here. Alvaro might be looking for fastest lap. The point as it stands will currently be going the way of Grumio. 19 points for his effort to stand. That could be 26 if he can catch and pass his teammate. He's around Imri now. In terms of positions gained and dropped in this race, the biggest gainer so far has been currently flying up with 6 places gained from his start as well. But Grumio has gained, obviously lost 1, but he's had to come back from P15 in the field. Now maybe with a chance of winning this race. And the biggest dropper so far, had no retirees from this Grand Prix. The biggest dropper was Alvarez, dropped 6 places. Yellow flag 63, who's that? Oh, and that is Pope around. And the Mercedes there sees his podium chances out the window. End plate damage on that car. Can he come back from that with 6 laps to go? Peter on the outside, up into P8. I can only imagine the frustration in the cockpit of the Season 11 champion. Landlord there, still in the lead, but Grumio now 7 seconds back, and with work to do here, can he still catch his teammate the last 5 laps, last 5.5 laps rather. He's done half the amount of time on his mediums that Landlord's done his mediums. Oh, and that could be a big change in the race as I say that. Grumio here with a time penalty, and that, with 5 laps left in this one, may just seal the win for Landlord. Grumio hit with 3 seconds, I'll knock him down to what looks to be the 4th position. Maybe even the 5th position if James is close enough. It'll be tight. All Grumio can do now is just try and close on Landlord with 5 laps to go and hope he can pull 3 seconds on Imri to avoid losing any places from that penalty. Poke back around PJ here. Look to see if we still bring a result home for the team. Got gets 3 seconds now. 8 jobs for the 19 was from start this race. Now all our penalties to their names. Landlord there all by himself right now in the world of his own. I'm sure a lot more excited during the first stint. Blue flag there, that'll be the Aston of Obsessed Gamer. That's to let Grumio go through. Let's the reigning champion go. Oh, back on the inside though! And that was very, very aggressive. And off he goes, off into the wall. And I think that was a move that I think both cars could have done without, and a move that could have taken Grumio out of the race there. And off into the pit lane goes Obsessed Gamer. 10 seconds of speeding in the pits. Landlord disconnects. That could be a concern for him. He's got the advantage. Damien James and Imrie. Oh, sorry, we're getting his way through. Sorry, they're both getting past Imrie there for 3rd place. And all of a sudden, the Mercedes podiums looked to be on a few laps ago, falling away. Medium tyre runners in control in the late stage of this Grand Prix. It's looking as though Grimio won't lose all 3 places. He may lose just 2. But James, of course, needs these points. If Lando wins the race and James finishes in 3rd place or lower, then Lando will lead the championship by a minimum 1 point. Albano's coming in. Late change there for Landlord. His AI is pitted. No! And that could be the race win thrown away for him. And he rejoined at the worst possible moment. Landlord now down to P9 in this race. The AI have thrown this one away. We've got 3 laps now to try and recover. This is like F1 2014, 2013 scenario mode for Landlord now. He now sits 15 seconds off the lead. I doubt he can pull that back. And now the race sits in, and now short of putting out 8 more tenths, the race sits in Websy's hands. Or potentially James could win this one. Lock up from Grimio. If James and Websy can keep away from scrapping each other, then they could still win this race. And with Grimio now the lead car with the penalty, the gap will be a little easy to keep an eye on. And we'll see whereabouts Grimio will finish. He's got just over 2 laps to gain 8 tenths. And Websy needs to keep close and try and keep James behind him to try and have his 3rd career win in the RDL. If he can just hang on. The last win for Websy came just over a year ago now, in the 4th race of the season, in season 15 in Baku. That was a crazy race, a lot more carnage. Lando back in P6 now, about 4.5 seconds back from Curtis. But is it too late now for Landlord? Let's see, 1.9 seconds behind Grumio here. And the 2 Haas cars. That is true. I've just been informed. Yes, that does make sense because I completely forgot he did make 2 stops medium tyres. I'm an idiot. I'll just remember that. That is quite silly of me. Thank you, Grumio, for pointing that out to me. Regardless, we'll continue on here. Landlord there in P6. He had to stop again, but I'm sure he would rather like to go as long as he could, but I don't know. The race win for a second looked to be on. I'm really not sure what the plan was from to pit onto that second set of medium tyres. Perhaps, as I said earlier, banking on a late safety car. And the leader's now closing in on Grumio here, so it's looking as though it'll come down to these 3 cars to settle it on the final lap. James is inside of the racetrack. If he can get close to Grumio, he may also get the DRS JB penalty. James now in the net lead. Websy here wants that place back. 1 more lap to go. James now looking for a 4th straight win, but now finds himself on the trail of Grumio, who he'll beat in the race anyway, but can he take it on track? Look at the pace on offer here. All of a sudden from the 3 cars behind. James to the inside almost going for it, not quite. Imrie though senses an opportunity to potentially try to take all of them if he can get enough to run. Oh! And Imrie at the inside of both cars here, underneath James. Dead heat between both cars. Both of them will get DRS. Rain starting to fall in the circuit. This has all come about in the last lap or so. Imrie falling away here. He's going to try and get a run on James, but he's now in the catbird seat. But James will look to come back at Grumio on DRS as well. Imrie at the inside, really fighting a penalty for Imrie there. And that will throw it away for him. It's down to James Websey now. Can Websey get back at James? 2 men standing in this fight for the win. Imrie got the elbows out as the rain starts to fall now. And he leads those 3 cars, but now the penalty of his own. The race looks to be going to James. Imrie being passed by James, and Grumio might also get passed by James too if he goes for it late enough on the brakes. He's going to go all the way to the inside of the racetrack here. Is that a good enough move to try and take the lead on track? Contact between the pair of them. Around goes James almost. Imrie spins across the track. Websey around all of them. Websey to second place at the last moment. Imrie crosses the line, but Websey will win it on track. What on earth just happened in the final meters, the last furlong there in Miami? Websey comes home the winner. End plate shattered, but the race victory in his hands by a 10th over James. Imrie takes 3rd in the end. Grumio 4th, Curtis 5th. Landlaw runs the line 9th in the end. What happened to the other Haas? The 2 Haas cars who've just imploded in the closing moments. As the rain starts to pelt the circuit. Any more laps, that could have got a lot more insane. But Websey, in the end, who sat back and watched it all unfold in front of him, goes on to take the win. And there will be a lot of cross faces, I think, in the paddock when this is all over. I'm being told Grumio was running out of fuel going into the last few corners, so he was slow anyway. James made the move, and it almost worked out for him. Imrie got through, James slid, but Imrie slid as well, and Websey just sort of managed to squeeze in and managed to take it. As we make some sense of what was an insane finish. Sauber get their first win of the season. Websey becomes the 4th different winner in the campaign. And that was a final lap for the ages. Wow, I'm lost for words. Almost in stunned silence. I don't want to say anything here that will sort of get me in any hot water, but wow, I'm just sort of in shock. All British podium in the end. Websey wins it. James takes 2nd, beats him for the first time in 4 races, and Imrie home in 3rd. So a podium finish for him. That late penalty could have been avoided. He managed to win the race regardless. Of course, he did cross the line first, but wow. That penalty cost him in the end. Imrie was the first car of the line, but Websey will seize the flag and win this one. Crazy end to this Grand Prix. We'll get the interviews open. And that was a race and a half. Please feel free to leave your opinions there in the comments, in the chat below. Pope, I've got you in here first, mate. Commiserations. What happened down there?
Mistake, but yeah, I think Imrie and Grumio were battling heavy. Collision into the wall, and then I saw Grumio coming back on track, so I tried to obviously put the foot down, try and avoid that car coming back on track, and unfortunately on the tyres it just ended me up in the wall. And then when you're there, you can't really move until you've got about 10 years of free space. So it was a shame, but it's what it is.
I mean, the pace was solved up there because you were up front there for the majority of the almost more or less the first half of the race. Yeah, quite a good fight with Websey. You went on to win the race. I mean that was insane for you guys, but you kept it at bay.
Yeah, no, it was really fun battling Websey, and obviously well done for the victory. Yeah, it's just annoying because I thought I saw a 1-2 there for Mercedes if obviously incidents didn't happen and obviously I didn't spin the fucking car. But you know, it is what it is. We're progressing. That's the main thing. We're getting points on the board now. Coming into our own a little bit.
You'll be getting fined for the language. In terms of, I'm going to ask everyone this at some point. But in terms of qualifying, because of course we went from dry tyres to intermediates to wet across the session. Of course, you're one of the 10 drivers who dealt with all 3 sessions. Was there much problem with the adapting in each round?
I think definitely in Q3. I mean, we obviously knew what the conditions were in Q1 and Q2, but I think Q3 was the hardest because obviously some people I went on full wets at first and then tried on the intermediates, gained about 4 seconds. It's really bizarre end to qualifying, but that's what makes it fun.
Obviously, a few more points today. Of course, I get probably the frustration could be a bit more, but still the pace has been solid for you guys. I think it's only a matter of time before it all clicks for you. But of course, we are now reaching that sort of run of races that you've said you've been favouring the last few weeks. So Imola, Monaco, Canada, Spain. What can we expect from you next week?
Yeah, I hope I win. That'd be nice. Maybe not a win. Then again, though, I reserved on last year's game, I believe, or the year before at
yes.
Imola and came second. We qualified second and then had a pretty pants race. But if we can pull it all together, I think a win's definitely possible. I love that track, and it's where I won my championship. So. You know, hopefully that gives me a bit of luck.
I've heard that story many times and it's coming to Roxburgh and to hear a bit more of it again. But perhaps we'll see you back here next week. Hopefully it'll be a bit of better results for us to talk about. But yeah, it's just still a good pace today, so I think go home satisfied, I reckon.
Oh yeah, no, I'm happy with it, but could have been more.
Feel free to stick around as we outro the stream as always. We'll move now to our race winner in the end, Websy, who sat back a bit on that final lap, watched it all implode, and just came through in the end. Websy, talk me through your POV, mate.
I kind of sat back through a lot of it. To be fair, the guys in front, I just didn't have the straight line speed. I've gone for a pretty high setup, not just thinking there's going to be kind of half a track of rain and not just like the last half a lap, if you know what I mean. So, but no, it's I was shocked at that. I knew that there's somebody going to be carnage in that last corner. So all I actually did is I just kind of pulled back a little bit, went to the right, broke really kind of steadily and earlier, and then I tried to cut in. And I think that James then he just kind of lost it on the I think Imrie, to be fair, got in the way, and then I think that James has kind of lost it on the shoulder there, kind of thing. So it was just mad. Then Imrie ended up kind of tried to overtake, then he blocked me off, and then I just tried to get to the left hand side. So just lucky that last kind of, I don't know, 5 seconds. It was just fortunate. I think anyone could have been there. It was just the right space at the right time, I suppose.
But yeah, a bit of a lottery that last lap. Completely honest, but of course that snaps a winner streak that I believe goes back to season 15 in Baku. This is your 3rd career win, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know actually. I don't count them. I usually lose my memory before I kind of remember that I'd won one, like 2-3 years ago, whatever like that. But I'd be shocked if it was there because I hate that track. Well, it doesn't like me very much. But I was very shocked at this track. I was. I have kind of done quite a lot of practice on this track, and then I was so upset when all the rain was everywhere, and I'm thinking, why me? Why this bloody track? I must have put about 2 hours in. But anyway, it's paid off, and I had some great races. I do feel sorry for you, Pope. You just had some bad luck lately, mate. I've had the first three races with bad luck where I didn't score any points, but I'm just trying to get back up there, really.
You guys were sat there. The first 2 races, both of you failed to score, but you both of course up there now. Hope with the pace, I think the wins come eventually. And Websy, obviously, you've got yours on the board now. Do you reckon? And I know I always ask this whenever you do win, but is there a chance for another one perhaps later on down the line?
The way I'm feeling in a minute. I mean, obviously, I'm keeping up with Grimios and Orions, and So yeah, as long as I kind of put the time in to keep my race pace there, I've cut my league races down from 5 a week to 3 a week. So it just gives me a little bit more time to kind of practice and do bits and bobs as well. So yeah, I'd be upset if I didn't win another one.
Fair enough. I mean, Imola, can't speak. Imola next week, of course. I mean, you've always sort of run right in Imola the last couple of seasons. Do you reckon there's a good chance for more pace next Monday?
Yeah, definitely. I like Imola. I do like Imola. I think everyone likes Imola. To be fair, the only issue with Imola, if you just miss that DRS, you just stuffed. So if you just make, I think the last race we had, I think I just made. I was up there for the top 3 or 4 kind of thing, and then I must have just lost the back end down one corner, and then all of a sudden I lost the DRS, and then before I know it, I was 2, 3, 4 seconds behind.
I've sat through many career mode races doing the exact same thing, so I can feel you there.
Yeah.
But we never know, so we could see some more pace there next week. But yeah, congratulations on this one. I mean,
thank you.
It came in an unlikely case, but a win's a win at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew I was going to be there 1 or 2, or obviously with James because of points. Emery he just kind of overtook me, a little sneaky overtake, and then I thought, then I didn't even realise, to be fair, I didn't even realise what lap it was on. I didn't even realise it was actually on the last lap until probably halfway through the lap. I thought it was another lap to go, anyway, it worked out very, very well for me, but yeah, I'm very, 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 very happy. I had some great racing with some lads, so.
Good Monday night. Right, I'll move things on now to James. James and Reggio, thank you for your patience in listening to all of that. James, obviously, commiserations because you were in that last lap fight as well. Obviously, I'd more than love to hear your end of it as well.
Well, yeah, it just started basically on that battle. Started on, I think, lap 28, okay? Like, noticed Websy, okay? He was fast enough, but, like, Groomy was slowing down, so I thought, instead of leaving it overtake until the last lap, I'll go early, because I could get into Groomio's DRS. So I thought that'd be a treat, and I'll win because he has a penalty. But then on the last lap and all, Groomio was just slowing down, like over slowing loads of time, and Orion got the inside of me, I think, like just before the end of sector 1. So it was like fair enough move, so it was okay. Then I think it was like, yeah, down that last straight, it's just that's where all just crumbled basically. And all like the contact and all was just a bit ridiculous, I think, on my end. Like when I was watching it and all, just the sheer collisions. Well, I mean, there's not much I can really do about it, to be honest. But congrats to Websy on the first win, I think, this season.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
But I mean, of course, James, I will say, even if it wasn't the win today, another solid run that will obviously see you maintain your lead, actually expand your lead in the standings, to my mind. So I'm thinking that perhaps even with that, the fact that we had Landau pit late on, perhaps still struck good luck as you continue to expand your lead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm pleased with like the P2 result. Don't get me wrong, like, but still a bit gutted that didn't get that P1. So like, I wouldn't go as far as to say it was stolen from me, like, but just what happened on the last lap, and I'm very annoyed with it, like. But pleased to extend my gap nonetheless.
Do you reckon there's any chance of expanding next week when we go to Imola? What do you reckon? Is win number 4 on the cards?
Oh, I hope so. I think I can expand it even more. I think Imola has gone quite well for me, especially in the wet conditions. So yeah, I think I could expand it once again.
I did tell you, James, earlier on that I did say he was going to be up there. You didn't believe me.
Oh, yeah, you did. At the start of the season.
Oh well, Websy knows. He knows his stuff, doesn't he?
Yep. Inside, whatever you call it.
Inside RDL with Websy, that is how we do things on a Monday night. Well, James, still congrats on the. You did get on the podium in the end, didn't you? You finished in second.
Yeah, in second.
Yeah. Good. I only half remember because there's a weird glitch in this year's game where it just doesn't it just loads to the end screen after the podium, doesn't actually give me the results to look at. So that's quite annoying.
Yeah, it was second.
The spectator patch says fallen down the cliff since the last game, but regardless, we do what we can on these Monday nights. But yeah, congratulations on the podium. We'll come now to last but by no means least, Red J, who probably didn't have as loud a race as these guys, but still had a bit of fun himself. Red J, here, mate.
Yeah, good race. I think on the whole quite happy. Certainly with how the quali went, I thought was really good. Yeah, the Q2, obviously getting that at Q1 was obviously really important to me, and Cottony were quite close fighting for that P50, and I was just able to get it. And then obviously Q2, I actually it felt quite handy for me because I missed the first minute or two. I went out to go and get a drink or something like that, and I completely forgot to look at the radar to see when the rain was coming in. So obviously I came back and I originally thought I was screwed because I thought the rain was already coming down, maybe way too heavy, and everyone had already got onto the Inters. But when I went out on the Inters, I found out there was only 2 of the cars on there, so I was able to get in a lap when the track wasn't fully wet. And yeah, really frustrating, I suppose, not to get into Q3 for the first time, because I think I had a real chance. I think it was a missed opportunity. But P13 is my best quali position, and again, you got to look from the fact that there was, sometimes there's only about maybe 15, 16 cars on the grid, so we only had a full grid today with 19. So to qualify 13th, yeah, I'm happy with that. The race itself, I think it was a good strategy to do softs to mediums. I know I was the only one that started on the softs, but I was happy with that, and I think it worked out pretty good. They fell off a little bit towards the end on the hards, but yeah, I think obviously for the drivers that were maybe, well, anyone that was from 11th downwards was probably hoping for rain to maybe come 3 or 4 laps before. I'm sure obviously the cars that were in the top few positions probably weren't wanting that. I was for the drama because rain can mix it up so much, but unfortunately it didn't quite come enough in time. But on the whole, P14, I'm with all 19 cars to finish in 2 races in a row where we haven't had any VSCs or full safety cars. I think is really good. I mean, I've been in the league now since I think January of this year, and I think that's the first time I pretty much raced in every single one since I've been here, and I think that's the first time since I've been here that we've had 2 consecutive races in a row where there hasn't been any VSCs or safety cars, and there wasn't really that much that I could see in terms of incidents. And obviously Grumio went off at one point. I don't know if he got punted off or he just went off by himself, but he still recovered well to 4th. And then obviously I think Henry got his first podium of the season, so well done to him. And then obviously James again, really good. And then to see Websy as well win, I think probably the first time since I've been here that he's won a race as well, so it's nice to see a different winner since I've been here, to have different winners. So yeah, and then also a word for the new boys, Craig, Aaron. Their first races, they got to the finish. They stayed out of trouble. I don't really think they can have too many complaints. I think it was good efforts by them. And then obviously Obsessed Gamer raced last week, and again was able to get to the finish line. So to see all 19 cars finish, I think is really good. We want to obviously see full grids. We don't want to have 15 or 16 cars. It's nice to see the 19 getting onto 20 cars. It makes it more exciting. But yeah, from my point of view, an enjoyable race.
Websy, I'm sorry, but he's just broken your record.
Oh shit! I need to go and do another one. I need to win another one then.
Fantastic. Reggie, there are a few questions that I do want to ask you just from some of that. So the first thing, of course, was there a bit of revenge in your eyes there when you knocked out Connie in Q1? Because of course, you just missed out doing the same thing last week in China.
yeah. We're having a good fight at the moment in quali. I'm not too sure what the quali head-to-head is. It'll be interesting to find that out. How many races have we had now? Is that the 5th race of the season or the 6th race, something like that? I think it might be 6 races. Yeah, we're pretty close, I think. Yeah, he obviously had the edge on me in China, and I got him back today. But it's obviously all in good spirits. We're not sitting there, having a go at each other. We're all quite happy just to see one of the cars get through into Q2, because obviously that was something at the start of the season. With less cars, both of us were going out. But we're more drivers in the field. We're starting to get a car through to Q2, which is nice because it's a Ferrari, So who doesn't love to see a Ferrari going through?
Definitely. One thing I did want to say when you talk about the new drivers, when you referred to Aaron, do you mean Daniel Aaron? Is that who you
Yeah.
meant? Because he's been here before for a long time.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I've never seen him race before.
I think
So
he last
maybe
started
he
just
hadn't
before
been
you left,
racing for a
I
few
think.
months. I'm sorry.
That's all good. Yeah, I mean, he sort of asked all the questions for me in the sort of the first round. So I'll quickly press you on next week's race at Imola, because of course you have obviously now done a full season of every track. Actually, no, I'll scrap it. I'll ask the question last time. Are you satisfied with that? Because you've been here for a whole season now. Like, overall, are you satisfied with what you've done so far?
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, Bahrain was such a really good start to the season, but at the same time, it was the first league race on the game, so it was a clean slate for anyone, and anyone could have got a really good finishing position there. But I thought P9 was really good. 2-point finishes. I don't know, it's just been frustrating because I feel like there's been a couple of the races, certainly Australia, where I feel like I should have got into the points. And then there's been a couple unfortunate races, Japan and China and stuff. But on the whole, yeah, I am pretty satisfied. I'm actually not in the next two races. I won't be at Imola, and then I think after that it's Monaco. To be honest, I'm happy to miss Monaco. I don't really fancy being at Monaco because last year it was a disaster for me. And then Imola, I think Imola is obviously a fantastic track, of course it is, to watch actual F1 and other sports on other racing series. But I don't really like the flow to it on the game, I've got to be honest. It's never been, I don't like the curbs. It's just not really for me. So I think the next track when I'm back is Canada. And so obviously for numerous reasons, I'm looking forward to that.
We'll look forward to seeing you in a few weeks. I mean, I'd say get a lot of hours in the next 2 weeks. We could be looking at another points run for you.
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully.
GG, mate. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, GG.
Websy, can we nab you quickly? Just quickly, because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
here and because you won the race today. I want you to be the one to give me the word of the race. This is what we do on the stream. Just give me
Give you the
word.
what?
So you just give me a word that just sort of describes the race, if you can. If not,
Uh,
I'll do it.
Is a word? No, it's not, is it?
Judge
Probably. What?
He's got the
No.
years on me. I'm sure I can figure out a word.
I can't figure out a word. Sorry, mate.
I
Yeah, we had a go battle there, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It was-
You tried
it
a
was
few
good.
times, but it was unfortunate.
Hope, do you want to come with a failsafe? What do you reckon?
Chaos.
That works. Yep, he's normally quite good at this. Okay, okay, so that's the word. Make sure to go down in the stream chat or the comments to write down the word chaos, and let us know what you think of Websy's vocabulary this week. Because that'll be the one.
Okay.
Now that Pope's not here, I've got to think of more creative ones than just Pope's commentary. But still,
Okay.
but that is business, and that'll do us for the Monday night here in the RDL. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more future RDL races. Of course, it's Imola next week on the 29th of July, same place, same time. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, have a good evening. Congratulations again to Websy, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.